One of the things we did is we did a big walk around inspection. We did that with Kathy Kahn of City Racks. She's going to come up next and speak to you about it. She maintains the whole system for the Grand Central Partnership. She's got fantastic expertise in this area. She's a wealth of knowledge. So without me talking any further, I'm going to invite her up.
I'll just talk a little bit about what we do over at Grand Central Partnership, which is actually part of your area. There's actually 4 business improvement districts in your district. John and Jean and I did a walk around last week. Covered every block of your area. We
8
found
miles.
Yeah, it was. It was far. We found 128 individual boxes in your area. We talked a lot about how modular news rack programs work and the regulations for newspaper boxes, which is a DOT thing. It's not NYPD. So if there's any issue with any boxes that you see that are in crosswalks or in a bus stop or too close to a fire hydrant, call 311. DOT deals with that. So I basically work with all the publishers on a voluntary basis. I manage a program for Grand Central Partnership, which is a large business improvement district from 5th Avenue to 2nd Avenue, 35th to 54th Street. This is around Grand Central Terminal. The program for news racks has been in the street for 21 years. I have about 50 publishers in the program. I used to have about 70 publishers, but a lot of the major paid publishers like the New York Times, the Daily News Post, they're all over $1, so they don't really use vending machines anymore. But I have all the major free publications, the Village Voice, Our Town, Dance Papers, Gotham Writers, all of them. And they participate totally on a voluntary basis. We provide the news racks, and they put their publications in. And I have inspectors that go out every week and check all the boxes, and then we email the publishers that have empty cabinets. And they know that it's managed, so, they deal with it. And as sort of it's a voluntary program, but basically if they're going to be in the modular program, they're not allowed to put any of their own boxes within our district. So when we did our walk, you saw there aren't any plastic boxes or metal boxes or any other boxes in our area because, we have a collaborative situation. I will say I did a pilot program for Garment Center District 12 years ago, and we built a prototype. They didn't decide to go forward with it, but, we made a nice design. So they're knowledgeable about it. Times Square bid I've also met with, and, they're open to it. And we also walked through 34th Street Partnership and the Bryant Park District. So actually it's 5 bids that are in your area. They have a modular news racks, but they're not as well managed as our little area. Basically, the reason why you don't see too many of these programs is because it's expensive. And to turn around and say, okay, well, I'm going to make the publishers pay for that. There's too many First Amendment concerns. So really, unless you have a third party like yourselves or one of the bids to underwrite the program and manage it, it's not going to happen. That's why there's only 5 programs in all of New York City. Basically, we walked around the area, 8 miles, and we found 128 newspaper boxes, so we documented that. Jean took photos. I made a spreadsheet of all that information, and looking at those locations with the boxes, I would say you probably need maybe 27 or 28 modulars. And when you look at where the boxes are, about half of them are in either Times Square bid or the Garment Center bid. So, if you said, okay, well, I'm going to go forward with this, the ones that you would probably have to shepherd, it's only going to be maybe 14 or 15. So, the problem gets smaller and smaller. I work with Madison Avenue bid uptown, and I work with Hunter College as well. Both of them got grants from their council members for news racks. The council member grants only paid for the capital expense, which, is a lot of money, but ultimately someone has to maintain them and manage the program. So once you get into it, you kind of can't get out of it. So, you have to take great consideration before you get into it. But I have 4 news racks at Hunter College on Lex and 67th, between 67th and 68th, and they got a grant from council member Grodnick, which I guess he covers your area, right? He's very supportive of modular programs. And Madison Avenue bid got a grant from Moskowitz that paid for the whole program. So they have about 70 news racks up there. And I have about 80 in Grand Central Partnership. Like I said, I have about 50 publishers. So, and it's about an 80-block area. I work with all the publishers around Grand Central Terminal. So I have a deal with them And we don't want to see wire racks. We don't want to see milk crates. I don't want to see any of their stuff around. So I created a storage place for them under the viaduct on Park Avenue and 41st, and there's a locked cage. So AM New York Metro and all the paid hawkers, all of their racks are stored in there. So, you know, there's one key. They all have the key for it. They put all their racks in there at night. Actually, some of them get their newspapers delivered there. It's under the viaduct, so it's you know, covered from the rain. And it's been working for, you know, more than 10 years now. And, you know, my whole thing is I don't have any laws to make the publishers do anything. So I try to, you know, work with some finesse and understand what they need, and we try to work together. When we walked around Port Authority, there's, you know, junk everywhere, and it would be easy to make a deal with them because they would be happy not to lose their racks and have a place that's secure. But, you know, you have to kind of come up with something and figure out what you can do for them. So to say, oh, I'm going to cut their chains and take their racks, they're just going to bring more racks. I mean, it's not very helpful. It's not that hard to do, but like everything else, it's just one piece of the puzzle. So we just, you know, we try to work together and make it good for everybody.